Hi folks, welcome back, and welcome if you're new. Get some of this sweat off my face. I'm gonna get a haircut too. A few sprigs of hair are left. It got pretty hot and then cool. The sky can't make up its mind. Clouds over and I get a little bit of respite and some coolness, effectively cool anyway. And then the clouds open up and quite a scorcher. Very hot. Another 8K behind me. They're trying to offer some words of encouragement because overall it's a good thing. Okay, so today was busy, very busy here. It's university. All kinds of people here at the park, mostly couples, I would guess, in their mid-40s, about the right age to have 18-year-olds checking into university. They throw down blankets here and there and make a little picnic out of it, but I'll tell you, you would think it was a contest to see who could watch the phone so much. Lots of people, and so ones that are sitting very close to the sidewalk, a lot of people, they'll stare at me curiously. So I greet them. I say hello, and people say hello back. And there's police out of uniform. When they're in pairs, they'll stop talking as we approach, and they will look at me. I mean, it's what they do, right? So I open my mouth and say hello, Sawadee Kap. And after that, all the other times I meet them going around, they're very friendly. Got a little video here for you to see. Yesterday evening when I went out to the little market along this main road, I saw a whole crew, about 12 to 15 guys. They were all wearing their SWAT vests and stuff, but they weren't wearing the helmets. They weren't ready for a riot. They were looking around the grounds, or they were casing the joint. But I have a feeling they put that ancient cart there last night, put up some things with torches around it, and it's pretty neat the way they use these little 150 bottles, a 150 like a high test, like a Red Bull supercharged kind of thing. They fill it full of fuel and put a hole through the cap and a wick out the top. None of them were broken, and then they were all burned to some extent. Note to self, when I need a torch. Okay, so words of encouragement. Yesterday, I didn't come out. I woke up yesterday feeling like, frankly, I felt like I had a bad hangover from my youth days when I wasn't sure if I could do anything more than eat. Yesterday I had a reasonable couple of eggs and scrambled up with a few pieces of toast with honey. Get those eggs for the protein and then eat some fruit. I've taken to this fruit thing. My big thing with fruit my whole life is if it isn't ready to eat, I just don't want to deal with it. I mean, when I was a kid, sure, I went crazy on Japanese oranges. And when I was into bodybuilding and over a stretch of years there, I skipped the day yesterday. I thought I was, later on I'd get a nap and sleep, but I wasn't able to. But I cleared up and got lots of video editing done anyways through the day and to the evening. As a matter of fact, at 9:30, I was thinking, oh, it's getting late. I thought it was after midnight. I've been sitting at the computer for so long. And the encouragement is that even though those days come when we have to miss a day, or even when they come and we have to shorten the walk, and I've got a word or two about that in a sec, but it doesn't mean it's finished and you have to figure out a way to start over. It's kind of like people that are, maybe in AA or something and they have a slip. I believe they're counseled. I used to counsel my clients, not with AA mental health, but just because you have a bad day or because you slip doesn't mean you have to start over. You just have to pick up where you left off. I have to use that for myself too. And there are times when I almost pre-decide, even because I'm feeling that way, that I'm going to walk a shorter walk. But I'm pretty good at having a chat with myself during the process and getting myself back on track and ignoring those voices telling me to, you take it easy, you want to stop, and go ahead and make the whole walk. Whether someone is walking 2 kilometers or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10, it's the same thing. We will get times when we feel like, oh, I'm just going to shorten it up. But we can have a chat with ourselves as we're walking, and usually, we get going and we warm up and we're feeling a little bit more into the walk. So I just encourage you to try those techniques, and that's my words of encouragement. Yeah, so I walked around regular loops and then out around for the big loop behind the university and stuff, and it was really quite busy. I felt a little self-conscious. So they've done a really nice 2-meter wide sidewalk. They've also put up a nice steel railing with steel bars, and I guess it's a lot like that railing right there. It's really quite nice. And then they put a shelf up near the top edge of it. They've got this beautiful setup where you can sit and look over this water slough. But as you look over the water down the bank, you can see where they've dumped all the slag materials. It's also ceramic tile walkway alongside the boardwalk and whatnot. They've taken like truckloads and they've just dumped it over the side. Cement bags and broken tiles and stuff that there's hundreds of and you just can't just pick up, like, oh, there's a piece of tile and pick it up. It's just tons of it. And they've done this along there half a dozen times. So today it's quite busy there. And people are sitting up on those things and looking over the water. And there's a little bridge, footbridge. So I have to cross the bridge. Well, some of the workers are there and my usual hellos and stuff, but all the other people that are there are staring at me. They're curious onlookers, and they're lined along there, and there's their family groups and several people. And so I cross this little bridge and I turn and walk. I can hear them talking about me. It's only, I don't know what it is. Came back around, came out, and some of the people that were sort of lounging, and there was a group of 4. The woman in that group, when I was coming around, I see a big grin on her face from the distance. And she's got her thumb up. So I'm going by, yim, yim. So she said, oh, in Thai, she tells us, oh, you're exercising, that's very good. And she said, how far do you walk? And I said, I walk 5 kilometers around this pool, little lake, and then I go 1 big loop around the university for 8 kilometers altogether. Oh, great, good exercise, healthy, blah, blah, blah. So I came around again, and when I came around again, I actually asked them, what's special about today? So I thought maybe, something special was going on, and maybe I'd get a glimpse of the princess in real life, or the queen. She said it was the commencement day for the students. So that was answered. Lots of people out there. A few more vehicles going by. You will have heard the sound of a couple of vehicles going by. The breeze is up nice. I mean, I'm loving it right now. A haircut here is only 60 baht was what I was paying. And 60 baht I was paying here a year ago at first, but they turned over the shop to new owners, as they do here quite frequently, and they bumped it up to 100 baht. I mean, that's almost double. I mean, that's $4 Canadian. What the heck can you get for $4 in Canada anymore? Thanks a lot for coming. I appreciate you being here, and I hope to see you soon. The birds say goodbye too.